Hello guys and welcome to my channel. So this video will be the first of a series of videos that I will be making while I'm coding my software as a service for my startup. So actually I have a use case. I build a schema of a use case that will explain a little bit what feature we will have in my software. So actually, I will share all the code. Actually, I will record all the process, so you can code at the same time as me. But one thing is that I will not make the repository public. I will first make the repository public to let you have all the setup I made to the repository, the all the boilerplate I made to the repository for the front end part and the back end part. And you can get rid actually of this boilerplate code setup, and I will share this public repository right in the description of the video, so you can grab this public repository and start coding at the same time I'm coding. I will actually share all the tutorial on YouTube. This is my private project, so I will surely find a way to share the project later on. But actually, I want to think about how I can add on the go people on the project, because this is a private project. But I will. You can actually watch all the video and code on your side the project. So let me explain a little bit what we got here as feature. So what we got here as feature, we got so actually you can, if you look at the feature we got here, you can say that there is always there are e- sorry, you can say that there is platform that have this feature, but anyway I want to bring mine. So and I have a tiny difference with this software. So I will show you this feature, and I will talk about a little bit in this video. So actually guys, you can see that a visitor can well, we start with an author. So actually an author can be anyone who have this digital product to sell, or any YouTuber who have extra video or extra digital product to sell. They actually can use the platform to make additional revenue on their digital product. So actually an author can create a digital product, and where when he will create his digital product, he can actually upload the product. Actually, so guys, you can see that an author can create a digital product that includes that he will upload a product. An author can create services. So actually, if you create service, you don't need any digital product. This is your own service you will bring to the buyer. And you can also see that an author can create a subscription. So basically what that means that if you create a subscription, you can create a pricing. So your buyer can choose a price and subscribe to this price, and once it's subscribed, he can get unlimited digital product from the pricing that he picks. So actually, yes, that's it. Actually, an author can also also create online course. So why I move this feature in this, so this part will be a version another version, so in that version, so I will deploy first this version and deploy after this one, because I can guarantee that here we will have a lot of work to do. So actually, if an author upload his course, he will need to drag and drop the course, to uh, rearrange the course, to add a title to the course, add the description, and a lot of advanced features. Basically, what in the author side, this is what we will get. So this author will have a role, a specific role that is different from this sticker here, that is a visitor. So a visitor will have also another role. So basically, in the visitor side, a visitor can buy any digital product. That includes that he can, after buying the product, download the digital product. And actually, I think that he can download anytime, or maybe the author will set the number of times the visitor can download the product. And after that, he can buy a service. So when a visitor buy a service, I think the author will get notified that the service is bought, so he can provide the service, and like on Fiverr, I think. And but that will be a light version of this. So this is not actually the purpose of this platform. This is not a purpose that the purpose is sorry the purpose of this platform is not to provide services like on Fiverr. So basically, we have visitors who will buy also subscriptions that include that he can download product, and I if someone subscribe, he can actually get added automatically, get added to a private repository. What that means, so basically assume that this feature is not there. So when a visitor buy a subscription, uh, okay, actually the author can see that this visitor buy a subscription, but he want to be added a subscription. Sorry, the subscription or the pricing will be about a private repository. So assume that the author create this pricing, this subscription, to get someone added to a private repository, a GitHub private repository. Sorry, I have a typo here. So it will do it manually. Assume that this part not exist. Okay, if this part is not included on the software, like in other software, the author will have to add one by one any person, each visitor that buy a subscription to get access to a private repository. So that will be a lot of work for the author. So basically, we simplify. We will use GitHub API to get automatically a person added to a private repository. uh, to a private repository when he buy a subscription. Even I think for this part, I will be maybe include this. I don't know why I moved this here, but I think mm, a digital product can include also a private repository. So yes, we improve a lot more this use case as we are coding. So now I think that's it for the future. Oh, okay, just this part. I forget this part. So for this part, actually, when a visitor buy a course, I think what we will do, we make the visitor we include a feature that allows the visitor to watch courses directly on the platform, or download the courses if the author allow the buyer to download the courses. So this is what we will have. So there will be a lot more work to do here in this part. So basically, this is what we got. So that's it. I think this is also basically I can even use this part later on when we are going far to the coding tutorial, because I think some of, maybe, I don't know, maybe I will think about it later. So, but just for now, I will code the platform like this. For this application, I will use Nebular, which is a UI Angular UI library. So before that, I will share with you all the framework I will use to build this software. So first time I will use Angular. So I will use Angular for the front end, because for any reason that I just used to Angular than React.js or any other framework. And for the backend, I just learned Node.js, so I will use Node.js and Express. I will use Node.js and Express to build the backend. So as for the UI library, I will use Angular. Basically, so Angular is a UI library that provide a lot of components to build a beautiful and good looking application. So you can check this out later. So you can combine these two with, sorry, you can combine these UI libraries with Bootstrap. So for now, for now, I will create a private repository on GitHub, because this is my personal project and my personal SaaS project, and I cannot afford to make it public. But maybe in 2, 3, or 4 next video, I will maybe grant access. I can see how I can grant access to whatever want to see the project, and I will see later how I can manage this. So don't get angry at me, sorry guys. But you can actually follow the tutorial and do the same and watch again, and maybe make the startup kit private for now, if public for now. But later on the video, when I start getting the implementation of feature done, I will make the repository public and see how I can manage to grant access to people. So that's it. So let's new repository on there. Public, and done. So that's it. Here I will publish the public startup kit for the project, and you can grab this and start coding as the same. Start coding in the same time. So feel free to get this, clone this repository and start coding as well. So let's we go on there, and Okay, and then add readme. Now git command first commit. Oh, sorry, git add before. And then git first commit, and then we will push this on branch. We will create a main branch that we will call master. So this branch, no, sorry, but we will just do it like this. So our branch will be by default master. So let's create this past. Okay, that's it, that's done. And now we will push the code on the main branch called master. Yes. Okay, that's done. I pushed the startup kit on the repository so you can. That's it. So you can grab this and start coding. Okay, done. Let's see what we have. So we have everything, the backend and the frontend. So now I will get right into the backend code and just make a quick tour and explain the architecture I got and I made for this project. So I have already set up a lot of things basically about Node.js. So I will start with the package JSON, and the package JSON we have all these scripts. So we start the project, and the start dev use node mon. So I have a node mon JSON file to watch for update. So basically that means that when I make update, I run npm start dev, run start dev. The project we use NodeMon to watch for updates and basically reload rebuild the code source and reload the project so we can see our update about the API, and have the build that build all the project into a dist folder, and the copy file that copy all file I went to the dist project to make it available at the dist project. So basically I will have email template for email implementation. So when I build the project, I can have my email template directly on the build folder. So that's it, and here we have all the dependency we will use for the project. So I will list and I will list express. So feel free to check I will list and I will list express. So what it does, I will list will help you set up dependency injection on your Node.js and Express project. So basically that makes a lot easier, so you can inject any services or any classes, or any class anywhere in any constructor class. So basically that's it. So now after you make all the configuration, basically you can inject any services on any constructor and make a lot easier and less link between classes. So that's it. And you can also use a release express for basically annotation. So
Sorry, let's go back on Awilis. So Awilis will help you inject services like this. You can see here I have a simple example where I something I found on a tutorial I found on the internet that show how to inject any classes on controller. So basically I have a controller here and I inject a tax service on the tax controller to grab all the tax, and I release now for Awilix Express help you to have decoration like this, so you don't need anymore to specify to create a routing file, so that directly you can specify a route here and specify the HTTP method type here. So this is what I will express help you to do, make a lot easier to code and make less code. So that's it. And for the we have ICO for HTTP request, Bakery to encrypt and decrypt password, body parser to parse a body into JSON or raw body, basically for Stripe or PayPal webhook, because Stripe actually need raw body to check the secret key, and we have calls for cross-platform call. So we have .NET Env to specify environments configuration. We have Express, Helmet, L, JSON Web Token, Mongoose for Mongo database, Mongoose for that MongoDB, NodeMailer to send email, PayPal, REST SDK, RSGS, and Strap. So that's it. Now I have an index file that called app file to, and the app file contains all the default configuration that my node server need to run. So actually I instantiate Express, and I instantiate Express and I use all the default configurations. So here I load all the container. So here is the configuration for dependency injection and .NET Env configuration. Here is the method to get raw body from a request. Here is the cost configuration and the view configuration. Here I connect to a MongoDB instance using the URL, and I will talk about a little bit in a few times about the technique I use to connect to MongoDB. And then I use so that's it. So here I want to talk about this URL, so I will blur this. So this URL I use replica set to connect to my replica set to store my database. So why I use a replica set help me to manage database transactions. So actually I use transaction in my I will use transaction in my project. Transaction help me to commit transaction, multiple transaction, and abort transaction when on one of all the requests I made in one controller something is wrong, that's automatically abort all the other requests. So assume that I want to maybe create a user, and after I create a user I create a free subscription, a free subscription, yes, for the user. So basically if I create the user and on the request to create a free subscription for the user, something something get wrong, I will automatically abort all the requests, so to create the user and to create the subscription on the catch part. So I will use a try catch technique to try all the requests, so create all the create the user and the subscription, and if something get wrong on the user creation on or the user subscription creation, I will automatically that will automatically sorry about the transaction. So that's it. And now that I show you all the default configuration, I will explain a little bit the architecture I got here. So here I will create all the command files, the project we use, all the configuration, all the constant, and all the controller here, all the enum. Here I will create error files to handle error. And let's delete that by the way, because I don't need that for now. And here I will okay here I will create my interface, my middleware model, and I don't need this folder anymore because I will use Express. So here I will just correct this to not use a root folder again. So that's it, and here we will have all the services and all the util the project I will need on this project. So that's it. And first we will create the authentication module. So for the project I will need a authentication module, so I will need to start with a auth controller. So that's it. But yes, let's get this implementation of a user authentication module, a user interfaces and model done. So that's it. Start interfaces. Okay. So user interfaces. So we have. I will share this screen so I can see what I am coding. So we have an ID. So in MongoDB, you don't need to specify an ID because automatically, when you use Mongoose, you can have the ID. But Mongoose extend a Mongoose document. So when you extend a Mongoose document, you will automatically get an ID. So here we don't need to specify the ID. So we start by all the proper we start implementing all the properties. So here we have a that property, control C, control V. So I already have an email property, so I need this. That's one. A token, so that will be the token, the storage token, where we will store all the information. So we will need on the client part to we will decode and see if your user can still be connected to the platform. The verified email, actually a boolean. Agree with them. So we will check if a user agree with the software terms and condition. We will store that information. when the user try to subscribe, of course, or sign up, not subscribe, but sign up to the platform. And now we have social login. So basically, I will use SSO, single sign authentication, Google and Facebook single sign authentication. So I need a properties to specify if the user is trying to log in with Facebook or Google. So remember me, Boolean. So if we have a checkbox when the user is trying to sign in, so it can store it can store the sorry, I can speak. It can store the application can store this token for 7 days, or maybe 14 days, but 7 days. We will see that later. And change password. Changing. Change. Oh, sorry. Here we rename the actually use social login. Change password. Be a boolean also. So that's it. Let's create actually as I explained, the user will need a role. So here we have a role. So here will be a role interface. So now we don't have the role interface yet. So let's create the role interface. Sorry. Role dot interface. So start role interface. So we will have this file, and just grab that. Don't waste your time. So that's it. I'm sorry. That's it. And here we have a name. And we will import this interface. Done. And after what we have tenant. So as I say, a tenant can have multiple users. So basically what we will do is we will specify, we will link a tenant to each user. So a tenant ID will be automatically linked to all the users from the same tenant. So here we will have a tenant. So let's create a tenant interface also. Oh, sorry, my back is hurting, so let's start this. Okay, tenant interfaces. So we will have the same information here, just these two, because the ID will be also available. And let's import the tenant interface like this, and that's it. So sorry, I forgot. A user can also create another user. So we call this created by a user. Sorry, IIT, a user interface. And now we will create a mongoose model. So a normal mongoose model is a little bit different from a normal class model. So let's see how we can create a mongoose model. So start with the role, because we need this role on start with user model. So the user model will look like this. So now we will create a user schema. So we will export the schema, so if we need, we will use it. So export schema, so we will have a new schema here from Mongoose, and also we will need model from Mongoose, a new schema here, and we will define all the properties we have on the same properties on the interface. So we have created at yes created at that will be a of type that, and the default value, we will specify a default value if time a user is created. So there will be a default new datum, so that will store the user with the current data, and we have the same for the update add except updated add except a null value, except that we have for the update add a null value. So yes, and we will update this field when a user will be updated. And now we will have, let's split again to see what we have on the user interfaces, so we can easily implement all these properties. So we have the full name, which is of type string. So for Mongoose string, we specify the type with a uppercase first letter, and we say that this file is required. Yes, required, because we need a full name for the user. Actually, that will be better. And we have email, the email of type type string also, and this file will be required also. We have the password also required of type string, and we have the new password not required, because we will use this file, we will use this properties, only if the user needs to change his password. And we will have the token, I say that this is not required. We have the token also not required, because maybe we will need a user without the token, or store a user without a token. We need a boolean. So here we have verified email, and we agree with them. Yes, let's write this. So of type boolean require true, and use social login. Use social login. No, false. Yeah, yes, true, but here false. Remember me, false also. We just specify this if the user check the checkbox to save his password. And here we will have change password, and we will have here the role. Sorry, the role, and the role will be a one-to-one relationship. So actually, how the relationship work on Mongo. So you have to specify the relationship between the user and the role. So the type will be mongoose, and I will import mongoose from mongoose. Sorry. Mongoose from mongoose. So mongoose schema mongoose schema type and object ID. Object ID. Okay, we have. Did you mean mongoose? Yes, I mean mongoose. Object ID, and the ref is role and require. Yes, the role is required. So we have also the tenant. Same for the tenant. And the tenant is required. So that's it. So now we will instantiate a new model using the interface. Yes. So now that we create the schema, we will create the user model, which is using the user interfaces. And now we user, and we use the user schema and export the user. So that's it. And we will do the same for the role and tenant. So for our role, so role model dot ts. So now we will do the same. Just copy paste this. Remove all this field we don't need. Rename this and this one and this, and change this. I need the user, and we don't need mongoose, and that's it. So we have the role schema, and we forgot the name property, sorry, the name property. So type string and require. So that's it. And now we create the role model. Let's create the tenant model. Basically the same, almost the same. Uh, File start the role schema. So new file tenant model, and let's copy and paste again this code to and update this. So we have tenant schema, remove name, and update name this variable, import the tenant interface forecast, and to import the tenant interface, sorry, and use the tenant schema and export the tenant. So that's it. We have our all three interfaces and three models for our authentication API module. So now we create this file. Let's create a controller. Let's create a controller. So now we will need a controller. So we have authentication that I will call auth controller. So authentication controller TS. So we can use this file as base. So let's use this. Rename this at this auth, and the class also. We will create the service for for the authentication. We will create the authentication service like this, and remove this and this also. That's it. So let's create a authentication service. So here we will create a user in database, create a list of user in database, create find a user in database by email, and all the other stuff we will need. So let's for now find a user by email. All right. Sorry, I didn't specify the class attribute. So public 5 get user by email. We will return await user fin1 by email. So we have email here. Sorry. I'm shuffling with the other language like C#. And we will return a user find by email, and we will command this method. So I recommend you to install this plugin, Mintlify Doc Writer. So this is actually a plugin that help you generate comments. So actually what it does is read what you have inside your your implementation inside your method and generate a doc, so you don't need to worry about. So you can generate the doc and read and adjust the doc, but that is a lot easier and help you to have always a doc, so you can so you don't forget about docs. So this is very important for you later if you if you let behind the project, working or another project, come after, or another dev who work on the at the same time on the same project as than you. So let's generate the doc. So select the doc here and click just on generate doc. So here what you have is a description of you have. So this function, let's read that. This function return a user object if the email exists in the database, otherwise it's return null. So you have the param and the return with a promise. So maybe we will specify the promise type here. So promise of user interfaces up, up. User interfaces or null is not assigned to user interfaces or null. And let's regenerate again to see what we have here. Generate doc. So this function take an email address as a parameter and return a user object if the email address exists in the database, otherwise it's return the same thing. So that's it. And we will have the same stuff. We try to get a user but also by his ID. Get uh, actually we will call this service a user service, so that will be a user service because we will have a out service also to make things easier. So here we have a ID, so the method will be find user by ID. And we specify the ID like this. Oh, sorry. Let me take a quick break. Yeah. So I'm back. So here I just implemented two methods. So we also generate a doc. So now we will try to get all the user. If you need, actually, I don't think we need. I don't think we need all the users. So that don't. I don't think we need all the user actually. Oh yes. I think we need all the user. All the user, but the user, all the user related by a tenant. So we will get all the user by tenant. So here we will get all user related to tenant. So get user get. I already call this user, so I will say get by email, get. I will say here get single by email. Yeah, I will say get all by tenant. Yeah, let's say we have the tenant ID and we say tenant ID. Oh, sorry, tenant ID. And here we have a list of user and not find one, but find like this. Generate the doc. This functionality an array of user interface objects are null based on tenant ID parameters. And we will create a user here. Just create. That's user interfaces. And that will also return a promise of user or null. And using session, if you have a session, so that will be Mongo session. Actually, I don't know how to specify a Mongo session. Let's say we have to start a session. What that will be? A session will be like this: Mongo's start session, and we have the type duplicate. Provide client session. We have a client session. So let's say we have a client session. Yes. And if you have a silent session, that will be return await user create. Also, we will say const user we will create a user with session later on. So we will create another method for session user. So let's say we will create a user like this. So create user, and that's it. So you have the same method but create with session, and we have a client session here, a client session. That means that we have to have a list of users, an array of users, because I think to make a session to create a document with session, we have to pass a list of object and return a list of documents. Sorry. So we will have create users and specify the session we use. And let's see when we generate our comment what it look like. So this function create a user in the database and return the newly created user. Okay. Now we have this. Let's create the method to update a user. So to update a user, we will have this update user. So that will be a user interface with a return promise. Let's say we copy that to make things faster. So promise user return array. So actually we will have this method instead find a user by ID and update. So we have to specify the ID, sorry. And now sorry, yes, because okay, it doesn't exist on user interfaces. So why maybe I forgot something. Yes, I think for each interface I need to extend MongoDB document so I can get the ID. So this is what I say yearly on the video. So yes, so we will have, let's delete this file, we don't need it anymore. We'll have sorry, this file before. So sorry, rename this file user delete. And if we delete yes, I say that we need to extend a yes, I say that we need to extend a document, a Mongo document. So yes, extend with an S at the end and document from Mongo's for each interface, sorry, document for from Mongoose and extend document from Mongoose. I mean, yes, document from Mongoose. Yes, okay. Yes, so get back into user service file. So I will say we need the user ID. Yes, the user ID. Okay, sorry, I just forgot. I just forgot. Okay. Okay. I think I delete this functionality here, so let's regenerate again the doc. So yes, so I will now create update, sorry, a user. So that will be find by ID and update a okay. Yes, find by ID and update, so that will be user ID. So we have the ID now available from the document that we extend, and the new user, and we have this parameter to specify that this is a new ID. That's it. Generate a command each time we have a method. Okay, it update a user into the database. So now create a user with session. So we have user an array of user, and that return an array of user also, and with section, and we will specify the session on inside the option. So let's add also in parameter a client session. Sorry, this will be this, maybe make things easier. And also here we will make things easier by specify directly a user. Let's regenerate again. Okay. So now we will now delete a user. So async delete. So I make this method not explicit because I just want to save more time by copy pasting this class. Yes, by copy pasting this class because and not and remove all the method I don't need and make it general. I don't know if I can use I can use generic model, but no, I don't think I can. I think I can use um, generic model or interfaces, but I will just go like this because maybe each time I create a service for another document like user role tenant or other stuff, thing will really change here, and I don't want to create one generic file. And yes, I know that is a lot of work, but I don't want to create generic file and put a lot of stuff inside. I want to make things separate. Okay. Actually, I don't know how to remove a user by ID, so I will just Google that. So remove mongoose, remove a user, uh, a document by ID. So how to delete by ID in mongoose? So delete one, just like this. Okay. Okay. I will be delete one by ID. Delete one ID entry. Okay, what happened? Delete result is missable property user from type user. The result is missing the following properties from tip user. Pop push. Okay. Test document. Delete result. Okay, we have delete result. Maybe. Okay, I don't know what it is. I will just leave things like this and see what we get as type. So I have a delete result. Okay. A delete result. Delete result. Why a delete result? I don't know about a delete result. A delete result. Okay. Maybe something I can import from Mongoose. Let's say we have a delete result. Delete result. We don't have any delete result, so just make things easy. I don't specify type, but actually I don't know how to specify the type to return. So let's keep going. So that's it. Yes, now that we create a user service, let's create a authentication service.